Hi, I'm Cheryl. It's finally gotten cold enough here in South Florida for us to get out what passes for winter clothes. And I was inspired by an old favorite long sleeve tee to make this card. And here's the tee. So what we're going to need today is a piece of pink Pirouette cardstock, 5.5 by 8.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4. Another piece of pink Pirouette. This is 1.5 by 4 1/4. Some scrap pink Pirouette. You'll need at least a piece 1 1/4 by 5. Whisper white cardstock. 2 pieces 5 by 3 3/4. And 1 piece 1 1/4 by 4 1/8. And also 2 pieces of pink, or 2 pieces of Pear Pizzaz, and these are 5 1/4 by 4. We'll need Petite Petals stamps. We'll be using this stamp today. First Sight stamps, we'll be using this large scroll here and the Forever Friends stamp. Be using our triple banner punch, our Petite Petals punch, Wild Wasabi ink pad, pink Pirouette ink pad. We'll also want to use our Wild Wasabi re-inker, a Stampin Spritzer, a sponge, our rhinestones, our paper piercing tool or pokey tool, Snail Adhesive, Tombow, and our Stampin Dimensionals. We'll be starting with the white cardstock. Let's get that out. And we'll be using our Stampin Spritzer. I put about 1/2 inch of rubbing alcohol in the bottom of my spritzer and then added 3 drops from the re-inker. Shook it up to mix it, and we'll be using that to spray these cards. For the card front, the inside of the card, and this will be for the banner. So we just spritz it. We want some spots to be darker and some lighter. And as this dries, it'll lighten up a little bit. Let's put that aside. Let's see, this one will be for the inside of the card. We want just in the corner. Let me get a little bit up that way too. That looks good. And then this will be for our banner. Grab a rag and wipe this off. If you don't have a silicone mat to do this on, you probably should put down some scrap paper. I got this baking mat and it's just fabulous. Everything just wipes right off of it. Okay, so next we're going to do our flowers that we need for the front of the card. So let me bring in our piece of scrap paper here and our pink Pirouette stamp pad. And our little flower stamp. We'll need 5 of these. Now, I just wanted a little bit of something on my flowers. I could have just made them just plain pink Pirouette, but I thought just a little detail on them would be nice. Now, when you stamp, leave yourself a little space because the punch punches outside of the stamp, so you don't want to run out of room and end up cutting into your next flower. Okay, so we'll get these cut out. Ooh, they jump. Yeah, it's actually getting down into the 70s here now. Okay, now we're going to shape our flowers. Now you could do this a lot of different ways, but I just put them on the palm of my hand. Then you want something rounded that's a little bit smaller than the petals of your flower. If you have a ball stylus, well, that's great. Use that. I don't, but I found this the end of this paintbrush works perfectly for this. So just run down the petals towards the center. That'll shape your petals. That's one down, 4 to go. By the time we're done this, my ink should be dry. Okay. They just jumped all over the place. I'm pretty excited. I ordered my because I'm a demonstrator, I get to pre-order some of the new stuff that's coming out in January. Should be here next week sometime. It was actually a little hard to get excited about this card because I'm already thinking about what I'm going to make with my new stamps and things I'm getting. I've decided I'm going to start getting replacing my blocks with the Stampin' Up blocks. I'll show you why. Okay, these are the blocks that I'm using now, and don't get me wrong, they're pretty good. But this is a Stampin' Up block. And look, you can see it's like double the thickness. I think this is going to keep me from getting my fingers in the ink so much. I'm hoping anyway. Okay, so our flowers are done. Let's bring these back in. They should be pretty dry now because I used the rubbing alcohol instead of water. You could use water if you want it, but you're just going to have to wait a little longer for it to dry. So let's stamp our flourish next. I'm going to need a piece of scrap paper here because I'm only going to partially stamp it off. I've got my ink here. Ink that up. That looks good. Now, when I stamp it off, I'm going to just kind of roll on one edge. Let's see, a little bit more maybe. So it's going to be different shades on the one stamp. There, you see. And let's see. Let's put one up here. Roll that off. Get a little bit of ink off of it. Stamp there. And I think over here we'll put one. And just kind of randomly put it on. And there. We need some on the inside. Let's put that there. And I think like this, right here. And I'm not going to use any of this ink on the banner. That was our wild wasabi ink. And we'll pull in the pink Pirouette. We're going to stamp some flowers just randomly over the background. I'm going to stick mostly, or try to stay mostly on the lighter color areas, because pink Pirouette's a pretty pale pink. And I want it to show. One there. One down in this corner will be good. And I think that's enough. I have to decide which side I want. Okay. Well, we'll worry about that later. See, you see I've stamped off on my, when I was doing the flourishes. That's okay. I'll wipe that up in just a minute. And one down there. Okay, I think that's good for that piece. And just do some here. Not going to think a lot about that. That'll help to keep it more random. And wipe this up. These are just microfiber cloths. I don't even have anything on them. Just dry. Okay, we can start putting the card together. Let's bring all of our pieces in here. And our snail adhesive. Yeah, I'm sorry for you guys if you're up to your waists in snow right now. I know how that is. I've done that. I used to live up north. I still like snow. I just like to see it on TV now, rather than actually have to go out in it. I used to work at a job that was 2 miles from my house, and it could take me as long as an hour to get to work when it snowed hard. Okay. Now we need our banner punch. And I've shown this before, but this is how I use the banner punch. You can use it for any size up to 2 inches wide banner. You just put your paper in and you line the corners up here, and there you go. Perfect. And we'll do the pink piece also. Get that in there. Line it up and punch it. And we're done with that now. We'll put some snail on there. Just center it. Just a little bit of pink showing all around. Oh, I probably should have stamped the Forever Friends on there first, just in case I messed it up. Well, hopefully we'll do fine. Let me get the Wild Wasabi ink out. If I wasn't using both my hands, I'd cross my fingers, but okay. Make sure that's right side up. Oh, it did a good job. Good thing, because there's no do-overs. Once you get it all taped down. Now we'll bring in our piece of pink Pirouette. Oops. Put our piece that goes in the center in. We'll do our outside one. And you might notice a lot of times I don't put any kind of a sentiment on the inside because I figure I'll write something in there. If you have a sentiment that you'd like to use, then by all means stamp the inside. But most times I just like to write a note on the inside. And if I'm not making the card for any special reason, if I'm just making a card just to be crafty and make a card, I'll even not stamp this. I'll just take these two pieces and just tuck it inside the card, and then when I have an occasion to use it, then I'll stamp it on here. And I could stamp thank you or happy birthday, or I mean, this card would be suitable for just about anything. Even you know, a sympathy card or get well soon. Now we're going to pop this up, so let's get some dimensionals on here. But that's just the way I do things. A lot of times I just feel like coming in my craft room and just doing something. And so that's what I do. Just make a card and don't put any sentiment at all on it until I'm ready to send it out to someone. There we go. Now, I think... Oh, you know what? I didn't use my sponge on this. You see on the original card? I don't know if you can see that? It's a little bit darker around the edge of the banner. Well, I didn't do that. So you won't need a Stampin' sponge to use this. I would have just gone and just put very lightly over on the edges. But I forgot. And I'll put that right there. Turn this over. And just trim off the excess. There we go. And now it's time to put the flowers on. Let me get my card here to see how I placed. Okay. Put one there, one there, one there, one here, and one here. Just stick them in place. We're almost done. We just have to glitter this up a little bit. There was some glitter on my t-shirt, so I've got to put a little glitter or something on here too. I think the little things on my t-shirt were gold though, but I don't care. Let's get the rhinestones out. How the heck do you open this? I always put my things back in the plastic. I have a dog and a cat, and their hair gets everywhere. I figure I have enough trouble doing things. I don't need to have their hair stuck on everything that's sticky. So I just randomly place. I'm going to use just the little ones, little bitty ones here. Just put a bunch of these on. You don't have a pokey tool. This is just for doing this. It's worth getting one. I went for quite a while without one. Can you imagine trying to pick up all these little pieces and stick them on with just my fingers or a pair of tweezers? Yeah, I want a little something here. Let's put one there. And we'll put one in there too. The Tombow's almost dry already. And then I use the medium-sized rhinestones for the flower centers. Just put that in there. And there. Now if you like my videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel because I'll be putting more up. Like I said, I just ordered some new stuff. I'm really excited. I can't wait for it to get here. But it's going to be like next week till it's here. If you liked the video, click the like button down below there. If you'd like to shop with me, that information's there. And as always, I'll put all the sizes and dimensions and what I used on the website. Now, if you like, you could put some rhinestones on the inside too. I'm not going to. But our card is finished. So, y'all take care, stay safe, keep warm, and happy stamping.